Good morning. So when I think about eXp Realty, I think about a founder of a company that asked himself some very good questions to figure out how this works. So, as somebody who's going to change the business, I would ask myself, how do I not lose the best agents? What often happens is you bring an agent in, you help develop them, you support them, and they take everything in and they put their hustle behind it and they prosper. And then they leave and go work at a competing firm or start their own company. So eXp figured out the way to keep the very best agents that we build or that come over here already built is to make them shareholders, to allow them to have an expansion team that builds revenue share, to give them ownership and something that would be too painful to leave. I've been here at eXp for almost 3 years now, and with the revenue share that I'm earning every month and the stock that I've been awarded with the vesting period in place to help attrition, I could never leave. If I ever leave eXp, it's because I've lost my entire mind. Please send me back to my house so my wife can bring me back to consciousness. Okay? How do we collaborate in a cloud? Well, we knew that we needed a virtual brokerage to have a cloud to eliminate all of those antiquated expenses like brick and mortar and all these employees and power bills and stationery and the whole gamut, right? So how could we collaborate? Well, we decided that there was going to be two different things that would work very well for agents to build culture and to be united and to actually share information like it's never been shared before. One is the cloud, the office that we have, our immersive campus where we have our desks, our departments, all of our 400 employees in the cloud serving us from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's one way to collaborate. We're able to get support, do our training, all of that stuff in there. But the other thing that we use is called Workplace, and it was designed by Facebook since adult learners don't like learning new interfaces. And Workplace is our Facebook for eXp. We're the largest user of Workplace. Mark Zuckerberg was on CNN last week saying that 50% of Facebook employees will be working remotely off Workplace due to COVID-19. They found that they were able to cut expenses and raise performance levels based on some studies from Harvard. How do we grow agents? How have we become the largest independent real estate firm in the country, the third biggest in such a short period of time? We are the fastest growing real estate company that's ever existed. And now in the UK, we're the fastest growing real estate brokerage that's ever existed. And the way that you do that is that you actually pay the agents to build their teams. You share in the revenue. And the way that that works is that if you're having a good experience at eXp, and you explain to other agents that we could be shareholders and we have different tools and the future of our life is going toward a digital connection that a lot of these antiquated companies don't have, or the bills that they have don't allow them to share money back with the agent, then you could start growing your team. We knew that you would grow fastest organically. And that is how we've gone from 500 agents 5 years ago to almost 31,000 agents at eXp. When I came over here in 2017 in the fall, we had 3,800 agents. Now we have 30,386 agents to be exact. How do we reward overachievers? Well, what would stop me from starting my own firm? Well, frankly, I'd want 100% minus my expenses at some point if 100% of my business was being procured by me. So eXp created a thing called Icon. Icon agents at this firm, once they cap and go to 100% commission, because we're one brokerage, no franchise fees, no royalties, no nothing, no territories, none of it, right? Once we cap and do 20 transactions, we get the $16,000 that we paid in for the year back in stock. So we're retroactively working for 100% commission. And by the way, those Icon agents, in which we have many of them here in Charlotte and across the country, that is why we did $1.3 billion of sales. We have the top producers at this company because they're going to get what they paid in back in stock. Those are also the only people that teach our agents in the cloud, the best, the highest producers. How do agents retire in this business? Well, considering that our average agent is 58 years old, they don't. They work until their first heart attack, stroke, until they're burned out, until they've been aged out of technology. That's what they do. Well, at eXp, we have not only are they experiencing receiving stock, but they also have a revenue share program that will pay you residual income based on a compounding growth scale at this company, and there's no limitations. I went from 3 agents to 900 agents in 23 states and in 6 countries by making phone calls, having webinars, having lunch and learns, throwing big events, by just explaining the model. Not throwing up all over people, not selling a model. I can't sell this model. I can just explain to you how it works and what are the blueprints of being able to retire out of this business. Something I've been able to figure out solely because of the model. So that's how we get agents to retire. We also have a lock-in on our revenue share where you could lock it in, and there's certain milestones that you have to hit and get paid forever and never have to worry about maintaining your team. How do we get coaches? Coaches are so expensive. Well, here at EXP, you have 2 different coaches. 1, you have the person who brought you in to help you along. And 2, if you're a new agent, you get a mentor. And that mentor will help you on your first 3 transactions from A to Z. If you like teaching people, you can become a certified mentor and have up to 20 agents that you could teach and earn an ancillary income of 10% of their gross commissions as they're in your classroom, your first 3 transactions. How do we raise the education for agents? Well, that's 2 things. We need more education. We often have 10 classes a day, between 70 and 100 hours of free education in the cloud. Not Maps and Ignite and Bold and all that stuff that's expensive. Free education. And who's teaching it? Icon agents. Agents that are typically making over $500,000 of gross commission or selling, in excess of $9-10 million of business, unless you have a very low price point and you could probably do it for a little less volume than that. This is the top 1% of agents in America are teaching our classes. Not the hobbyist who loves to teach classes, not the person who sells 4 houses a year, not the person who hasn't sold a house in 9 years, okay? How in the world do we have agents share their tools and their techniques with other agents? Collaboration is very, very tough when you're stuck in an office that you're competing in the same market. So we use Workplace. We use our cloud campus to show you what's the best listing presentation. This is what my digital listing presentation looks like. Here's my referral because I have someone leaving Charlotte, moving to Wisconsin. Why would I give it to an agent that's not with EXP? I'm a shareholder. So are they.